Smooth as silk. That looks pretty good. That was kind of rough. That was effortless. And Houston, we have a problem. I knew that was gonna happen. Man, is it inconsistent. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to say. Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with two potato gadgets with very specific functions. Let's get started with the first item for making homemade French fries. Let's take a look at this French fry cutter. I paid $39.98 for this. Currently has a 4.5 star rating on Amazon among over 10,000 reviews. And here is the unit itself. Now they claim that it's a high quality stainless steel restaurant grade blade that slices quickly with little effort. Extended handle, where's the handle? Handle must need to be assembled. Well, the extended handle that you can't see yet squeezes through potatoes with ease and can detach for storage. Cuts fries into half-inch pieces. No need to quarter or halve the potatoes first. Anti-slip suction cup, which should be down here, right there, can also be used for other veggies. They say for a commercial grade product that has a small footprint, easy to clean and never rusts. Now, most people online who liked it said it was well built and glides through potatoes like butter. But those who didn't like it, there were some cons. People said it takes more strength than they imply. Some people said that the suction cup was not very good. A few people said they received broken or used units. Others said it just didn't cut potatoes at all. One thing to note though is even though it has high ratings, a lot of the photos are complaints. People showing that it's broken, that didn't hold up, arrived dirty. At first glance, this doesn't look dirty, but I'm gonna look it over carefully before I get started, which I'll do as soon as I read the instructions. All right, I have read over the instructions. I washed off this part of it, which detaches. I think I'm ready to get started. Now, I should point out this did, as I said, this does detach. There's a couple of wing nuts in the front that just come off. All right, it is back in place. And by the way, I did install the handle, very simple. There's just two parts to it. This part right here just screws off if you want to have it break down for more compact storage. And here's how it works. You put the potato in there and it should just do the rest. So let's follow the instructions now and see what we're supposed to do with this. Cutting potatoes, step number 1. Place the cutter on a flat, smooth work surface. Check. Now I'm going to press this down so the suction cup hopefully holds it in place. Next up they say pull the lever so the compartment is completely open, which it is. They say to put a potato in, but it's recommended to cut an edge off the end to make it easier to cut. Let's do that next. All right, I'm going to place this mat underneath here to receive the cut potatoes. Cutting off the end of the potato. I've got my potato in the unit itself. And they say when cutting, pull the lever back slightly, then push it forward rapidly to easily cut through the food. I'm not sure where I put my hand on this. I mean, I assume I want to use my hand to somehow stabilize this, but I'm not really sure. If I put it there, I'm going to smash onto it with the handle. That seems kind of, I don't know. All right, so I looked at the Amazon videos there, and it looks like most people are holding it right here, which it just seems kind of, there's no handle, it seems a little bit awkward. Someone was holding it back here, which that seems even more dangerous because you got the handle moving past it. But let's try and see what happens. And, well, the first inch was easy. Let's keep going. Maybe back here is better. Oh, wow. I'm gonna lean into this thing here. Because right now, I'm halfway through a potato and I already have observations. First up, it went a little bit into it and then stopped. Second of all, I used two hands on the handle and I felt the suction cup completely give away, and now it seems just kind of stuck. Did I go too slow? Is there some other issue? I don't know. Oh man. Well, I gotta get it through there. It's stuck. I got more potatoes to cut. Now this is not a particularly large or unusually shaped potato. Oh gee. Smooth as silk. That's right. It just glided out of there like butter, or not. I don't know, man. That first one was kind of rough. That was kind of rough doing that one. Maybe that was just my first attempt. Maybe there's a technique I got to get down. There's been many times that my first attempt isn't very good. Let me try another potato and see what happens. I got a pretty standard sized potato here. Now I've got bigger ones and smaller ones I want to try, but I wanted to start off kind of standard size here. Placing it in the unit. Read these over one more time. Pull over back slightly, then push it forward rapidly. Now I'm doubting myself. Now I got doubts. When I went into this, I was completely confident. Now doubt is setting in. Here we go. And now wait a second. Now that did glide out of there like butter. Why did that one go so much better? Maybe I went too slow in the first one. I don't know. I got more potatoes to cut because the second one looks beautiful. Look at that, perfect. Let's keep going. So far I'm kind of 1 for 1. Now here's kind of a small potato. Let's see what we got here. Put it back slightly and go fast. Whoa, all right, hey, I don't know, man. That first one was rough, but the second two have been pretty easy. Let's try another small, there's a very small one here. Let's try it, place it in there. That's a small potato. They say to pull it back slightly and then go quick. Wow, and the final result, very nice. Let's try a little bit misshapen one, a misshapen potato. Placing the misshapen potato in there. Now that's gonna be weird because the way it sits in there. Pulling it back slightly and quick. Oh, wow, not bad at all. I mean, I will say, I just created all these in seconds. The first one was rough, but since then, I've been gliding through them. Look at all that. That's a lot of potatoes. Here's a pretty large potato. Let's see how this works now. Now, in this case, the handle doesn't go back. I don't have a lot of leverage. It's pretty far back. But let's see what we got here. Oh, it got stuck. It got stuck. It seems like once it gets stuck, it's not easy to get out of there. If it doesn't get stuck, it's butter. It's kind of feast or famine here. Now I got this to deal with. Now I gotta be careful because I'm afraid that if I apply a lot of force, it's just gonna give way real fast and I don't wanna hurt myself. And the suction cup is sliding around. This suction cup ain't holding it all. There it goes, there it goes. Man, I think I need to do another round where I separate them into sizes and see if that's the issue because 2 of them didn't go very well, the rest did, so. I gotta get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna wash off some more potatoes and we're gonna try again. I was just curious, so I went on Amazon, I was reading over the comments there. I did a search for the word stuck and I saw quite a few people said they got potatoes stuck in the unit like I did. Some people seem to think it was kind of random. Some people thought maybe the potatoes were too large. There really is no rhyme or reason to it, but I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. I've got another batch of potatoes I'm gonna run through here from small to large and we'll see if the small ones go easier than the large ones. Or maybe they'll get stuck regardless of size. So here we go for round number 2. I have 3 small potatoes here. These should be easy, but what it should be may not be what it ends up being. Let's find out. The smallest of the bunch here, very small potato. Here we go. All right, see now I just hit my thumb on that. I just hit, what happened? All right, so they were, I knew that was gonna happen. They were showing people holding it right here, right? But I actually held my thumb back a little bit and I just smashed my thumb. I mean, on the good side, the small potato cut, but I gotta be careful where, they need a handle on this. They need somewhere to hold it. There's no really good place to hold it. Let's keep going. Making adjustments as we go here. All right, I'll hold it. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna hold it like this time. And here we go. I got stuck. What happened? Why is this one stuck? So maybe it's not a small thing. Maybe it's something else. That wasn't so easy. That wasn't so easy. Let me try another smallish one. This one's a little skinnier. The last one was kind of fat. It also could be maybe the angle that you cut it and put it in there. Maybe if the angle isn't right. I don't know. Let's try that again. Let's try that as well. I'll make sure that flat side is completely flush against it. Here we go. And, oh, smooth as silk. Let's move up now to a slightly larger batch of potatoes. These are I would say these are my medium potatoes. I'm gonna see if I go fat in first, if maybe that makes a difference. Instead of cutting the small end off, I cut the bigger end off. And I'm making sure that's flush in there. Making sure I don't hurt my thumb again, and oh, nice. Oh, nice. That's right. Maybe I'm onto something, or maybe I'm just getting lucky. We shall see. All right, cutting off the end of this medium one, placing it in the unit, making sure that it's flush, holding it back slightly, and rapid movement. Boom. Third one of the medium crowd here, and I don't know if my adjustments are making a difference, but I had perfect luck that time. Let's now move on to the big potatoes and see what kind of luck we have there. I had bad luck last time. Let's see what we get for round number 2. All right, these are massive potatoes. I don't know if it's gonna fit. This one is so big it doesn't even fit in there. That's how big this one is. Let me cut this one in half. I'm gonna cut this one right down the center and see if I can go 2 halvesies with this one. All right, I've got 1/2 in there, which makes it kind of more of a medium-sized potato, but here we go. And no, nothing. Did not go through. Oh, wow, I don't know about that, man. Here's another half potato. I will cut this to make sure that it's actually flush. Pulling it back slightly and moving quickly. No, not again. These big ones are not doing well. Man, when they get stuck, they ain't easy to get out of there. That was one of my big ones. Now this one also isn't gonna fit. Let me try this. Well, this one fit. None of my really large ones even fit in there. I gotta cut them down. I'll quickly go through these last couple big ones here. Come on, I need some success here, and all right, that wasn't too bad. Let's keep going, let's keep going. I got fries to make, and well, that was smooth as silk. Man, is it inconsistent. That was easy, and that was easy as well. Well, I have two thoughts. First of all, there was an inconsistency there. When they get stuck, they're hard to get out of there. When they don't get stuck, they glide through it. And that seems to be reflected in some of the comments on Amazon. Number two, I've got a lot of fries to make. So I'll come back in a little bit with some finished fries and show you how they turned out. All right, well, I've just had a gigantic lunch consisting entirely of French fries. I pulled out a few choice ones for you just to see. There's a pretty big variety. I mean, they pretty good sized fries. I've got like I probably made 6 pounds of French fries, and I probably ate about half of that. So I feel kind of sick right now. But the fries turned out quite well. But as far as the cutter goes, I'm a little bit on the fence. It seems like when it works on the first cut, it's perfect. When it gets stuck, it's kind of a pain. It seems like a good solution, but not a perfect one. So a lot of people seem to like it. And even those who liked it on Amazon did also experience it getting stuck. So maybe that's just something you have to deal with. It didn't even seem like the size of the potato really mattered. I had small ones that got stuck too. So I don't know. I like it. I don't love it, but I'll probably continue to use it because it does, even when it gets stuck, even getting stuck, it does produce really fast French fries. So it may not be perfect, but it still works quite well. Next up, if you want to have some spiralized potatoes, this might be the gadget for you. Let's take a look at this spiral potato slicer. I paid $24.99 for this on Amazon, where it currently has a 4.1 star rating among over 300 reviews. Now they claim that it's an easy to use spiral cutter that allows you to twist the hand crank and get pretty tornado potatoes in seconds. Made of food grade stainless steel, simple to operate, rubber feet on the bottom, right there, supposedly hold it in place. Now people online who like it, they say it works great, cuts through potatoes easily and creates perfect spiral potatoes in seconds. Now the main cons I saw were that people received damaged or used items. Some people also said it wasn't very durable or there were no instructions. I guess there are no real instructions on here. So I guess I'll clean this off and then get started. All right, I looked over the Amazon listing and watched all the videos how it's supposed to be used. On the back of the box are some paltry instructions, not very well worded by the way. I cleaned this off and I literally had to disassemble it to get the blue film off most of it, although a little bit still left right in here, but we'll deal with it. But now I think I'm ready to get started. So the way you're supposed to do it is place their skewer, or any skewer apparently, through this notch right here. You pierce a potato. You lift this lever so you can adjust the screw holding the potato in place. Lift the lever. Nice pleasant sound. Once your potato is in place, all you do is turn the handle, which I did have to assemble, which was very simple actually. I think we're ready to get started. Now you can use peeled or unpeeled potatoes apparently from what I saw online. So I'm using unpeeled potatoes because I'm lazy and don't feel like peeling them. Let's start off with a small-ish potato here. Now I have a couple other skewers here as well, so I'm gonna try at least a couple of them. So let's place their skewer up through here. We're going to pierce the potato, and we're supposed to go all the way through. Now there's a little hole right there that the skewer goes through. We are locked and loaded in place. I'm ready for my first spiral potato. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see the final result as it comes out of the unit itself. Do I think it's gonna work? I do, based on what I saw online. The only complaints were that it was dirty. Mine's not dirty, so I think it's gonna work. Here we go, turning the handle. All right, well, I'm looking at it, oh, it looks good. Not only that, but I'm requiring very little force. Wow, there's almost, oh, and it just stopped. It just stopped. Okay, I think I ran, I guess you're not gonna be able to do the entire potato. I have that much left. Let me see if I can kind of push this on here. All right, now it's over. All right, pulling it out and kind of space it out here. That looks pretty good. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty nice. That was effortless and it was very fast too. I almost feel like their skewer is a little bit too small because this is a relatively small potato and I can't even get the full spiral effect, but the function of the unit itself was excellent. All right, on the heels of that success, let's keep going. I have a bigger potato here that should still fit in the unit. Let me see, I might have to cut it down even. Is that gonna fit in there? It might, it should. And I have a much longer skewer here, so this should certainly work. Skewering the potato. I gotta be careful not to stab myself in the hand. All right, now I've got my second potato in here, but one thing to point out is it's hard to get when not all potatoes are perfectly straight. To get a skewer through the exact ends of each side isn't always that easy. I did my best, but we'll see if that's an issue or not. Because it's straight here, but not straight there. If it was straight there, it wouldn't be straight here. So I had to pick one end. I went with this one. Here we go. Well, that did not work. Wow. Houston, we have a problem. We have a problem. Now, I had noted earlier that one side or the other is going to have to be flush, so apparently it's going to have to be this one, because if you don't have it lined with that screw, it's just going to turn. So I got to start over again. Since I really didn't use a lot of the potato, I'm going to try again with this actual potato itself. All right, let's see if I can salvage this potato. If not, I got more to try. All right, so far so good. Oh, it's just spinning again. Get that out of there. Look at that. Did not like that either. This potato was just a bust, both ends. Let me try a smaller potato here. Maybe I'll have better luck with that. Maybe this potato was too big. The first one was kind of small, worked perfect. The bigger one, not so much. The other one, look at that. Look what it did. Not so good. I have a small potato here. And you know, most of my potatoes aren't perfectly shaped. Not all potatoes will be, so I'm gonna do my best here. Oh, I guess that's it on that one. I mean, the second one, it broke, first of all. It did work, but I don't know, I feel like I'm getting worse the more I use it. A quick timeout while I run to the store because I have a hunch. Now, the first one I did was kind of a uniform potato and it seemed like it was spiraled beautifully. But attempts after that were more misshapen, irregular, curved potatoes, and they didn't do so well. And I checked my bag and most of my potatoes there are kind of irregular shaped. So I'm off to the store to see if I can find a little bit more symmetrical, straight potatoes and see if they work better, because maybe that's a trick. They don't say that, no instructions. All the videos on Amazon that I saw, there weren't that many, but a couple of them, the potatoes were kind of straight and regular. They didn't have any curved or oblong or irregularly shaped potatoes. Once I pick these up, we'll see if I'm right or wrong. All right, it's time for take two. All right, my first round I had one success and some failures. As I said on the way to the store, I think it has to do with the size and the shape of the potato. So I got some smaller potatoes, a little bit more uniform, and I think this might be the winning hand here, but we shall see. I got one loaded up here, let's do it. All right, see in this case, these prongs, all four of them are in contact with the potato. When the potato's curved, I wasn't always getting that. It was like one or two were attached to it and then they would kind of get off and start grinding it. I have a much better feeling about this one, so let's get started right now. Here we go. I almost gonna do it by hand here. The final result's pretty good, but I had an issue. I'm still having an issue with this. All right, I'm gonna get more aggressive here. All right, I've pushed it in there as hard as I can. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to say. This has to work. Oh yeah. That one did work pretty well, although it was still kind of occasionally spinning in here. I think I got to keep going. I pushed that on there as hard as I possibly can. I can't go on anymore. Lining the potato up. That's right. There we go. I'm doing it. The handle's all the way at the end. I can't push it anymore. The potato's not completely done. I mean, the end result is good. I guess you're just going to have to waste a little bit of potato. I think maybe that's the moral of the story here. Is that okay to have if you waste this much? That is the question. Attaching the skewer to the device itself. Getting rid of all the slack. All right, so far so good. Now it's turning, look at this. I'm using a little bit of brute force here to try to make it continue to turn. But it's not going, I can do it by hand. I can do it this way, that kind of defeats the purpose. I'll just do it this way to finish it off. Even though there's a blade right there next to my finger. And there we go. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. It seems like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Smaller potatoes are better than bigger ones. Straight potatoes are certainly better than ones that are irregular shaped. Even then, it still doesn't work every time. You can kind of finish it by hand if you have to, but to me, it works, but it's not perfect. A couple quick notes about this item. First up, if you have a skewer without an end to it, you can actually pierce the potato outside of the unit and then add it after the fact. If you have an end to it, you have to go up to the unit, which is kind of awkward. I never really figured out why it was so inconsistent. I tried small potatoes, large potatoes, medium potatoes. I tried cutting them down. I tried straight potatoes, curved potatoes, smashing it onto the screw as hard as I could. It didn't seem like no matter what I did, I got inconsistent results. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just inconsistent. I went on Amazon, about a third of the people said their item was broken or used. About 1/3 of the people said it worked great, and about 1/3 of the people had somewhat inconsistent results like I did. So based on my experience, it's just inconsistent. But that's all I've got. If you've tried either one of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.